Welcome everyone. Thank you so much for hanging out in that waiting room for a few minutes. It's so exciting to see such a large group of individuals who are waiting for us. I'm Dr. Hastings. I go by Doc. I see several friendly names that I am familiar with in the chat. Feel free to open up the chat and let me know who you are, what college or institution you're representing. I definitely want to get this party started. Let's get that energy going. Welcome. So good to see everyone. Welcome. All right, Anthony, you found us. Welcome, my friend. I love it. If you're just arriving, we're using our chat to introduce ourselves. You just drop your name, tell us what institution you're representing. We are partnering, I am partnering today with the San Diego chapter of the American Association of Women in Community College. That's like a mouthful. You can find us on Instagram at SDCAAWCC. We are a regional organization. We're a fairly new organization too. It's only about 3 years old, and we service the Region X, 10 colleges in Southern California, that San Diego kind of area. So I want to know where you all are from. Drop your name inside the chat and let me know who you're from, where you're from. All right, Jake, I love it. Com 220 is representing today. Daria, I see you out there. Krista, I see you. Welcome. Brittany, welcome. Juliet, welcome. Pega, I hope I'm saying your name correctly. Welcome. Kristen, I see you. I'm so excited that you all are here. Christina, welcome. Angelina, welcome. I see so many Miracosta folks, family. I see you all. I'm so grateful that you all showed up. Ryan, I'm so grateful that you're back. Jeannie, welcome. Diamante from the Veterans Resource Center at Palomar, way to represent. All right. We're going to let some folks stroll on in. We had a really awesome amount of people who registered, and so we're going to give it just a few minutes. And as you're waiting, please know that we want you to feel comfortable. So if you're comfortable with cameras off, that's totally okay. We are going to collaborate together on Canva, so you don't have to feel pressured to have your camera on today. I'm cool with that if you're cool with that. Like I said, we are going to interact on Canva. So if you have a Canva account, go ahead and open it up on your screen. And that way you have that open so you can try out some of the tips, tricks, and tidbits that we're going to have today. If you don't have a Canva account, you came to the right place. You can just go to this link. You can use your camera on your smartphone to take a picture, and it will let you sign up for a free account. You can choose the free account straight up. It's perfectly okay if you want to go with the free account, or you can try Canva Pro for free for a limited time. I think it's like 45 days. Full transparency, I am a Canva affiliate, so that is my affiliate link. And so if you become a pro, I can't wait. I feel good because I recruited you to the Canva family. Awesome. Welcome, Deborah. So good to have you here. Well, my friend, I want to take this moment to really share the space and share the microphone with Ediyama, who is the president of the San Diego chapter of the AAWC. She is my running mate here. Ediyama, welcome. Please tell us a little bit about our organization and introduce it to the people here.
Thank you so much, Rachel. Thank you so much, Dr. Rachel. I am loving the energy here, trust me, and welcome everyone. I am just very excited seeing your faces. And for those of us who are not on screen, trust me, I love the fact that you're coming in and you're in this space with us. My name is Dr. Ediyama Jonah. I am at San Diego Mesa College, but I am the president of the San Diego chapter of the American Association of Women for Women in Community Colleges. Just like Rachel said, it is smart feeling, trust me. But then for short, this is what we do. We call it the SDCAAWCC. So whatever works for you, works for us and how you want to address us. So very quickly, I will be sharing my screen because I will be taking you very quickly to our chapter, and I'll be telling you a bit about the chapter and what we do and how you can join us. Trust me, we're a big family, and we're really we're looking for a family. We're looking for more family. So this is the family that we grow, right? So very quickly, this is the San Diego. I'm going to be sharing my screen. Please let me know if you can see my screen. Trust me, I think you'll be seeing my screen soon. So Can you see my screen? A thumbs up from Rachel or someone would be very helpful. Thank you very much. And we're not limited to just students and just administrators, or just we're open to having affiliates, we have allies. So if you want to be a part of us, if you, whatever gender you identify with, we're happy to have you, because with the family, we have diversity in identity. So welcome to San Diego SDC AAWCC webpage. Trust me, it's also my feeling for me. This is our webpage, and we have a lot of our events, and those are some of the things I'll be sharing with you. We do have a welcome video if you want to watch a video about what our upcoming events. It will be great. I do not want to take your time because I'm live here with you, but we have tons of events in different ways and for different topics that you can join us and be a part of. So scrolling down this big, beautiful, sunny logo, we do have some amazing information for you. We have upcoming plans and upcoming events. And as you're already here, we have the Careers for Canvas. It is happening live right now. And thanks to Doug for doing this and making this event this first event for the year. Sometime in March, we're going to be having a program and event highlighting the impact of immigrant women. So trust me, we have diversity of events. Sometimes we have meetups. So please keep an eye on this webpage. Keep an eye on this website and our social media handles for more information on some of our events. We will be having a wonderful annual recognition event, and this is when we give shout outs, we give appreciation to a lot of women, and trust me, you can be one of them if you're doing something unique on your campus, even you're a student. So we give awards to student administrators, faculty, classified. We just need to identify with you, and someone needs to nominate you, and boom, you'll be on the cameras in May. So keep an eye for this, and we would be looking forward to connecting with you. And even if you're not getting an award, please feel free to just come see and witness what it looks like for the future. We would also be having a first ever women's conference, and that would be the Women Strengthening Women Conference. So trust me, it is amazing. We're looking forward to it. I'm not going to take all the Canva time because I want to be respectful. We have a newly elected officers over here, and we have videos and some of the awardees. You would see them over here. Please take some time at your downtime to just read a little bit about this chapter and the amazing things that we do. And please don't forget, we do have t-shirts. Don't forget to be a member if you would like to join us. I'm going to be sharing a beautiful flyer that was created by one of us. And please just either take a picture of the QR code or you click on the link and boom, it is $20 a year. Can I tell you something else? We do have sponsors. So if you cannot afford $20 this year, we would be happy to take care of that for you. We just want to know that you're interested. We have sponsors, and we have a lot of our members all across campuses and across Region 10, like Rachel said. I am going to take a pause here. I want to be very appreciative of everyone for your time. And thank you so much, Doc. I think I have a question from Ingrid.
Yes. Hi. I just wanted to share that this is a wonderful organization that gave me 4 scholarships when I was in college.
Woo!
I think every chapter in this area, Borrego Springs, gave me a scholarship. Yeah. Amazing. It's an amazing organization. So,
thank you so much. You made
my testimonial.
Yeah, I didn't realize, that this was sponsored by, AA. Well, I thought it was AAUW, but yeah, this is great. That's why I'm smiling so much, because I can't believe that this is
thank you, Ingrid.
Organization. Yeah, thank you.
And we look forward to connecting with you, Ingrid. And trust me, we could share contact. I would put the form, and we'll be happy to connect with you and many more.
Okay, thank you.
All right. And so that was great. That was a proper ending for me. Thank you, Doc.
Justin, but then they were supposed to leave these for me.
Okay, I'm gonna have to mute the person.
Here, but yeah,
Rachel, you can take care now.
Wonderful. Thank you, Adiyama.
I muted you. I'm gonna unmute you, Rachel. Just because.
No, perfect. Okay. I was just gonna say someone was unmuted, and so no worries. We're all here now, and it's my turn to share again. So let me do this. I saw some of my people come in. I saw Professor Kat Soto Gomez. Welcome. And some more of my students. And so I'm so glad that you all were able to join us. My goal here today is to really give you a little bit of an in-depth introduction to Canva and and all the tools, the powerful kind of tools that it has within Canva. And so before I do that, I want to make sure that you all know that how to stay connected with us. Ediyama did show you our website. We're also on Instagram. I'm also on Instagram. And so our QR codes are here for you all to take a quick pic and find us and join us. We've definitely been trying to grow our accounts to make sure that we're reaching out into the community. I am the director of communication and marketing. So it's my job to actually handle our Instagram and our Facebook. And I started from 0 followers. I'm up to 177 followers as of earlier this morning. So it would really, really be great if y'all could help me get over that 200 mark. And so that's my plug on how to follow us on social media. All right, so I need to know from you all, my friends, what kind of account do you have on Canva? There's no judgment here. It's perfectly okay if you have a free account, a pro account, an education account. Hit the chat and let's just see what kind of accounts people have. Unless you could just write free, pro, education, and let's do a quick survey to see what you all have. Perfect. Here we go. We've got the free account, we've got the pro account, the free account, the free account. Awesome. Free now, but pro during my graduate work. Absolutely. Free, just signed up. Congratulations. Welcome to the Canva family, Krista. Free-ish. Maybe you like to purchase 1 or 2 of their little assets, like their pictures that you want to use without having their Canva logo. There are lots of different reasons for us to actually use Canva, and a lot of different kind of ways that we can tap into the power of their database. They have huge databases worth of elements, worth of templates, layouts, all of those things that we can use for our careers and for our educational learning experiences. I know we have students, faculty, and staff who are in here, and I want to make sure that everybody gets a taste of something and finds value that they can actually use and apply today in our workshop today. So thank you for sharing. The free account is great. You don't need more than the free account if you're just doing personal things, if you're creating invitations for birthday parties, if you are doing small social media things. The free account works wonderful. It costs you $0 and you have a huge access to their library. So thumbs up if you're already logged on and you have a free account. The pro account is $12 a month, right? $120 a year, and you get increased tools, an increased amount of tools that you'll be able to use. So things like background remover, you'll be able to use. You'll be able to create brand kits and create brand templates. So it has many more powerful kind of tools that are embedded in the Canva system that you will have access to. Now, the education account for folks like myself who teach online or who just create content for their teaching classes or who just work at an institution, right? If you have a MiraCosta or a education email address, you should try to get an education account. Why? Because you basically get all the things in pro for free as an educator. It's like a thank you for you because Canva knows that you're going to share this with your students and you're going to be providing them with resources, and it's giving you a ton of tools. So now you can create classes in Canva and have all different kind of elements that are designated just for that class. Now, I know I'm talking really fast, kind of giving you the rundown of what the differences are, but I am going to slow it down and walk you through kind of the education background of the platform once we get through some of the basics. So you know how you can actually sign up for one and then how you can set it up so it's all beautiful and represents your best self. All right. Now, let's see what we could do here. I would love it. I'm going to stop presenting so that you can actually see in my Canva account, right? This is the project that I just presented to you. It only has 3 wonderful pages here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you to join me with the click of the button. So please click the button in the chat, and that will add you to our Canva space. Look at that. You should see at the top of the screen here, lots of folks who are dropping in. That's beautiful. We're officially in a shared space. Okay. So let's set up a couple of Canva etiquette rules here. One thing is you want to stay on your slide. So what I'd love for you to do is go down to the little plus button at the bottom here and just click the button and create your own slide. Okay. Love it. Fabulous. Great. I already see somebody here on slide number 4 who's changed the color of their slide. You can do that by clicking the background color box at the very top here, and you can change the color of your slide. Right. So I just changed mine to yellow. Awesome. There we go. Wonderful. Awesome. We see about, look, 15, 16 people and growing. We have 36 people in the Zoom room today, and we're just admitting another person, so we'll just give it a few minutes for folks to kind of catch up. Oh, I already, y'all are a step ahead of the game. I see folks changing their background, making it their own. That's beautiful. Dia, is it Dia? When you say it's making me keep verifying the images, you can feel free to unmic and help me to understand what that means. Nope.
I just let her unmute herself now. I just let her, she can unmute herself now.
Awesome. You should be able to unmute now.
Yeah. No, we can't hear you. She's sitting.
I'm so sorry. I'm not sure why it's asking you to verify your images. That's a little odd to me. It's all good. Okay. We're here. And so if you need to troubleshoot on your end, that's perfectly okay. And I'm definitely putting this on my list of questions to ask, ask all the Google internet, what's going on with this verifying images. I really appreciate you sharing that information. Now, I know I have some students in here who probably have never used Canva before, and I probably have some folks in here who are using Canva for their job, but maybe, haven't been walked through all the things. So I'm going to start off with the basics here. And on your page, we're going to do some shorthands, do Command T, oops, excuse me. Click on your board, and if you click the T button on your board, you should be able to get a text box just like this. And you can add your name into the text box. And that shorthand is just pressing the T letter. Oh, Nicole, you took over my page. No worries. Why don't you stay there and I'll create another page. It's all good. Awesome. If you need your own page, you can click in between slides and you'll see this little button with the plus sign. Excellent. Or you can always go to the end and there's a plus sign there as well. Either way is perfect. Now the short commands are going to make us much more efficient and quick when we actually are working on Canva. And so that lovely little T is going to get us that text. Okay. I just put my name here there. If you're interested in changing the font, you can go up to the font selection here. Right. And Canva is really great. It allows you to kind of go through the various fonts that they have. They have a litany of fonts that you can use. When we're creating our documents for a more professional look. Yes.
We do have a hand up. Sasha's hand is up.
Hi, Sasha. Feel free to unmic. Oh, no.
And so we have some other person who's asking for the link again. Camila is. Okay, great. She said she has already in the chat. Sorry, go ahead.
Command T, actually, it's just the letter T. And on a Mac, it would be the command button. And on a PC, it would be a control. Great question. Thank you. Nadia, for PC, it would be control. Good to see you, Nadia. All right. Uh-oh, no command then? No command or when you just want the text box, just the letter T. Okay. T for text. Another quick one for shorthand, the letter R. Go ahead and click the letter R. You should see a little rectangle or square pop up. Awesome. I appreciate the question, Sasha. And thank you, Adiyama, for monitoring the chat for me. And so if I am not quick enough on your questions, you can always feel free to unmute and ask your question. I promise I won't get offended. Okay. Collaboration. Awesome. Okay, so we've got that R, and you'll get a box. Okay. If you're looking for a circle, you could do C. And it'll put a circle on your screen for you. Loving that I'm seeing some other folks come in. Awesome. One last quick shorthand. So C for circle, and then L for line. So if you're interested in lines, then you can easily put the L for the shorthand and you can have a line there. Right? Again, knowing those shorthands will help you to create quickly, because then you're, typing and clicking the buttons and you know exactly what pops up. Okay? So I'm going to show you where the fonts are now. I started that. You can pull the fonts up here. When we're aiming for a professional document, you're definitely going to want to have something maybe a little bit more corporate, or serif fonts are really awesome. All right. Also sans serif. All right. Two incredibly popular font styles that will give you clean, kind of traditional looks. If you want something a little bit more fancy because you're creating like a flyer, they use the search engine to help you out. They have handwriting options. I know I'm a fan of the handwriting type fonts. And I know that they have a ton of other options in that search engine. And so feel free to kind of filter around. Jake, absolutely. Canva is going to give you kind of you get these free fonts with this free account. And then when you upgrade, they do have a lot more fonts available for you. I humbly admit that I love fonts. And so I also use Creative Market to be able to find other font styles. And you can upload your fonts right here at the bottom. You can upload a font that you want to use, whether it's for your brand or for a particular project that you want to use too. So know that, yes, Canva does have a wonderful database. It also has some limitations along the way. All right. I'm going to add my last name here. I want to show you all some different things that you can do to, one, you can resize your font, right? You can also resize it here. Okay. You can play with the spacing in your font, this little 3 lines with the arrows. You can make the spacing smaller in between. You can also make the line spacing smaller. So if you want less space in between the letters and less space in between the words, that's an option for you as well. Now, if you have, sometimes you want to create a little bit of hierarchy with your letters and with your words. And so I'm just going to make these pretty even. And if you're trying to figure out, is this centered? I love how Canva has options for you. If you go into this button called position and you click that, then you can see whether or not it's centered. You can center it. If you have more than two lines and they're kind of all over the place and you want to tidy them up, you can tidy them up vertically so that the spaces are even, horizontally, or you can click the tidy up button and it will pull all your font text together so it has that nice clean look that you're aiming for. Awesome. Maybe you're thinking about creating a list. You have these buttons up here. You all probably familiar with the bullets. Make sure that when you do the bullets that you also pay attention to your alignment. Canva likes to start off with things being centered, but sometimes, especially when you're doing lists and bullets, you don't want them to be centered because they can come out looking a little crazy. I'll show you what it might look like. Right now, this is all juxtaposed to the left-hand side, and giving myself some compliments today just to show you all. Sometimes you got to give yourself a little up talk, right? When the lines are of different lengths, you can tell that when you have it centered, they'll keep the bullets lined up here, and then everything else will be a little bit off. This is one of my pet peeves when I teach this stuff in my classes. I really want all of the bullet points to kind of be aligned to the left, juxtaposed to the left, and then it keeps your list nice, neat, and clean the way that you like them. But that alignment tool is really awesome. Sometimes you don't have any list and you just want it to be centered so that everything is kind of clean and it pops off. That's great. So you can kind of pick and choose how much space you want to have in between your lines. You can choose whether or not it's going to be aligned. All of these are pretty user-friendly and basic. If you want to have all uppercase and feel like your text is screaming at you, you have uppercase options. They have the bold, italic, underline. These are really tools that you're probably already familiar with, all right? I want to show you this effects tool though. This is really powerful when you're thinking about design because you can add a little bit of shadow to help let your text pop off the page a little bit more. You can switch the offset, and so you can kind of tell how far away you want that shadow to drop. You can change the direction that you want that shadow to drop. You can have it blur a little bit more or less. You can make it really, really dark, or you can make it really, really light with the transparency button. So there's a lot to play with there. The cool thing about this is that once you get familiar with the text that you like, you can kind of play around with these different effects, right? So for instance, non-curve this. I'm going to put this back out of bold, and I'm going to change the font to a font that I know that I really like because it's nice and bold. Let's do that. Montserrat Extra Bold. I'm going to go into effects here. I'm going to do a little bit of shadow. I'm going to drop this to 20, drop the blur to 20, bring the transparency up a little bit. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy that. Okay. See, there's two dots that are right there. And I'm going to place one over the other. And then I'm going to click the effects button again. And on the second one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to click that hollow button and I'm going to change the color. I'm going to change the color to, let's say, orange. I'm going to change my background so you can see this pop a little bit more. Oop, I got to hit the background. Make sure that you're on the artboard if you want to change the background to the artboard. There we go. Okay. So you can see that line effect. I want to bring that thickness down a little bit so it just kind of is an outline. Now you might ask, okay, that's cute and it looks kind of cool, but what can I do with something like this? Well, you can do things like you can take this circle, you could put it behind, right? And I want you to layer it so that you can get some nice little effects here. We're going to send the black dot to the back. Then we're gonna take this outline dock and bring it to the front. I'm gonna change the circle to a different color. And now you have this awesome kind of see-through outline for whatever element that you choose to go between those two layers. So this is a kind of fancy way to play around with the font and make things look pretty cool. It's also one of the ways that I was able to get this Canva for Careers look, if you will. And I just love this. You may wonder, okay, where do I get this curve and how do I make that, happen? That's a great question. Let's go back over here to mine. Let's say you actually want to make this curve. You'll go back into effects. You'll go back into effects. And then we'll curve. And let's say I want to bring this Hastings up and let this curve as well. So I'm going to change the font here. Make it a little bit bigger. Delete my compliments to myself. And this time I want it to curve in the different direction. Oops. So I'm going to just bring this in the opposite direction so it'll curve in the other direction. And then you can align it the way that you want it to look. Okay. Feel free to play around with the effects on your page as I pretty up my lovely little name here. Also notice here, and when I go into my my colors, this is really great because I have a brand kit for the SDC AAWC, right? And it shows all the brand colors that are represented to our particular organization. I also have some secondary colors that I uploaded. Sometimes you need something else to kind of make things pop. And then the cool thing about Canva is it pulls colors off of the images that you use in your documents. So if you wanted to use colors that were in those photos, it kind of already identifies them and then it gives them to you so that you have a palette that you can use. You might be wondering, okay, how can I actually get, this brand kit here? And that's where that education account really starts to kick in. And we'll talk about that in just a moment. And I'll also share with you some ways that you can find the hex codes that you can use to go in this. Let me do a quick check-in with you all. How are we feeling? You can give me a thumbs up, or you can tell me in the chat, give me a thumbs up in the chat that we're still doing pretty good. If you have any questions, I love it, Dia. This is fun. It's actually one of my favorite workshops. I think Ryan was my student last semester. I think he's been at least one of these, and maybe been two of them. Awesome. Nora, it's good to see you. Very cool.
Good to see you too. Thank you very much, Rachel. Great presentation.
Wonderful. Thank you. All righty. Just going to change that color up and put that there. I'm feeling pretty good here. All right. Now you might be wondering, I have my own photos, Doc. Like, I want to use my own photos. You absolutely can with Canva. This sidebar on the left-hand screen is going to have all the things for you. It's going to have a ton of different tools that you can use. At the very top, this is where you're going to see your design options. So if you're using a presentation, a slide deck like we're working on now, and you are interested in a template, because sometimes everybody is not a designer. I humbly admit that I've never taken a graphic design class ever. I have used Canva for over 8 years though, and I use it religiously in my classes to help my students kind of think differently about how to express their ideas. And so these templates are really wonderful. A real cool trick for anybody who is building slide decks for their presentations, layouts is going to be your friend. This is a new kind of area that they put into Canva. It allows you to kind of see different layouts that you can use and apply on your presentations. That way you don't have to think about kind of how to organize your ideas. You can look and you can have a model, and then you can plug in your information along the way.
Hey, Rachel.
Yeah.
Jake would like, Jake, can you unmute yourself?
Okay.
Yeah, hi. Just a quick question.
Yeah.
I'm a college student, so I'm definitely planning on using this to present as well as in your class. And does Canva have something like PowerPoint to where you can present it on like a projector and you can flip through the slides and stuff like that?
100%.
How does that work when you kind of go in to present?
That it works better than, well, in my opinion, I'm a little biased because I've used PowerPoint and Canva is my jam. So everything that you want to do in terms of presenting, similar to PowerPoint, you can do that from Canva. And more towards the end of this conversation, I'm going to definitely show you how to present. I'm also going to show you how to screen record. So if you're taking one of my classes, that's going to be a really cool option because then you can show your slide deck and your beautiful face at the same time. So I got you covered. We're going to make sure that we get that, show you that and demonstrate that as well.
Okay, great. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. I'm so glad that you came. All right. Okay, just looking through here. That's design. Elements is going to be where all the fun stuff is. So when you're looking for things, you can hop into Elements and find all the cool stuff. And so I'm going to just show you how to use frames. So when you put frames inside of the search engine, you can pop up, it will pop up sections for frames. And these are really cool because you can use this frame to upload your own images, right? You can go into your images. This is my son Titus. This is his Christmas photo. This is probably the one photo he was smiling. Everything else was a little crazy. Notice how I just dragged that over the computer and it slid right in. And then if I double click it, then I can slide it in the direction that I want it to go. I can expand it if I want to get more of the image in there. And so there's a lot that you can do with that there. Another cool thing, in addition to frames, if you're using a lot of images or even videos that you want to drop into kind of a clean cut look, is grids. Right? So if you click on grids, it will bring up a selection of grids. Let me go back out of frames and do that one more time. There we go. If you put grids in, it'll bring up a section and you can click on that. And it has a number of different kind of already pre-made grids where you can just easily drop in your images or your videos to help you stay organized on the page, right? Let's see if I wanted to use that one as the back. I can take this image out. I'm going to detach the image, and then I can drop it in any one of those sections. And I'm going to add my son Kobe because you can't forget my oldest son. And my daughter, who is a total diva, deserves to be up top here. So if you're looking to do collages and you want it to be super neat and clean, this is a great way for you to kind of have a nice layout and easily drop things in. You don't have to guess about where to place things. It does it for you. And so grids is a really awesome tool that you can use. I mentioned here in uploads that you can actually upload images and videos. You can also upload your own audio clips. And so if you have any of those, this is a great place to store it. I would definitely suggest using folders, and I'm going to show you how to use folders after we get done with the basics to keep yourself organized. If you start to create a lot, this year I hit 500 Canva projects just this year on my education account, and Canva gave me a little certificate and I was so proud. So you got to stay organized because these things can definitely start to add up really quickly, especially if you're using them on an everyday basis. The text section over here, if you have a brand kit, it will have your fonts already set to go. You can add easily your any kind of text that you want, and you can play around with that. I mentioned earlier folders. When I create folders, it automatically goes into projects. And so it has all of my folders ready to go for me. So for my Canva workshop, I was able to pull some things up and I had some things here. This is a great way for you to easily find your resources and your digital assets that you've uploaded without having to kind of search for everything. I know that we are actively always working within community, and the QR code is, I think the QR code was dying before COVID, but when the pandemic hit, it just revitalized. Like now QR codes are all over the place and everyone is using them. If you are looking to create your own QR code, it's as easy as dropping a link here and then pressing generate the code, and then it will bring up your QR code for you, and you can put that in your project. It's a click of the button. It works super easy. We use it a lot on our events for our chapter. If you star something, it'll be saved in your starred area. This Jiffy element here is really kind of interesting. If you like the moving GIFs and you're looking for something, maybe I'm looking for dancing stickers. It'll bring up a number of different kind of fun and cool kind of dancing figures for you to kind of play around with. Okay. If you have a brand kit, you can click on the logos, and all of your logos that you have uploaded will also be saved here as well. Okay. All right. How are we feeling out there? Can I kind of move to a little bit more advanced stuff? I wanted to make sure I hit some basics so that everyone had an overview of kind of the simplest things, because sometimes I think it's user friendly, but I love technology. And one thing I tell my students when they come into the class is come as you are, whether you have never had any kind of technology experience, know that we're here to guide you. So I wanted to start out with the basics. It looks like we can actually move on a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch my screen here. So you're still on the Canva presentation, but I have moved over to my Canva account. So when you log into your Canva account, you probably see something very similar to this. And it has the kind of header here with the dashboard with all the different types of projects that you can make. This is a really cool place because you can do a lot of different things. Now, what I want to do is I want to talk to you a little bit. I'm speaking mainly to the educators in the room, not my students, but know that it's good for you to know the back end, because I know that sometimes there can be some technological glitches. When I became a professor and started teaching communication, no one told me that I would be a webmaster, that I would be a content creator, that I would have to make digital flyers, that I would be, doing all the things that comes with teaching online. And that's perfectly okay, because now I got a grasp of it. So if you are an instructor and you want an educational account, know that you can sign up for an educational account. Once you have an educational account, they ask you a few questions. Where do you work? What do you teach? All that good stuff. And then they approve your account. And once you've been approved, you can go into your account settings, this lovely little kind of like wheel here. And it takes you kind of to the back end of things, right? And it's kind of hidden, but billings and plans is really where you're going to want to go to create a new class, right? You would click on create a new class, and then you would just name your dream team here. For me, I run a Digit Influencers program at Maricosta College. I see a couple of my squad members inside of the Zoom room here, and so I'm giving them a shout out. We do have a Digit classroom where we're able to share folders, share documents, and all that good stuff with one another. Once you have your class created, it will.
Rachel?
Yeah.
You have 2 questions in the chat.
Let's check the chat here. Thank you.
Do you have to be a professor for an educator's account?
Oh, great question, Angelina. I think that you should be able to get a educator's account as well, especially with your Maricosta account. So you should be able to get it as well.
We have a second question.
Daria, that's a good question. They do ask you for an education email address. And so I think that's the key point. However, I know that I have been receiving a couple of notifications on my non-education account to switch over to the education account. And so I I think that in the past, you had to have that education institutional EDU email address. I'm not quite sure if they updated that for 2023. I know they've been making some changes along the way. Great question. All right. Now, one thing that I know is a little tricky when you start to get your education account is when you start making different classes, you need to be mindful of the fact that you now have multiple classes that you can kind of maneuver through. And so I went back to my homepage, and at the top here, you can see I'm here in my Digit Interns kind of space. But I could easily switch over to my Mass Comm from last fall. And now I'm in a different space. You'll notice that the header changed here, the recent designs change in here, and different project folders that you may have, that will change on your end. And so just be mindful, because I know that I know I put that somewhere. I know I like saved these fonts. Where are they? They may be in another account. And so that's one thing that we had to learn the hard way. Once you start creating and you're switching different accounts, you want to make sure that you're creating in the correct account. Okay. That's a great question, Kat. I'm not totally sure on that. If they could, I would take advantage of it. I definitely would take advantage if you can get an education account. It's just like having the pro account for free. There are a few less elements, but you don't even notice it, in my humble opinion. All right. I'm going to take us back into my account settings, because I want to show you the class details as well. I mentioned that the header had changed when I switched classes. It changed because I was able to update the logo and homepage banner. So I was able to customize it a little bit more to my needs. I just went into edit. I uploaded my logo for our Digit influencers. I chose the color that I wanted the homepage to be. Purple is a big color for us in our brand right now. And then I saved the changes. And when I go there, everything is all good. You can see who has enrolled inside of your group, right? You can also create groups within your space and within your class. So if you have folks who are a part of your leadership team and you want to put them into a group, you can definitely do that as well. And this is really great, especially let's say if you're a classified staff. I know that the Transfer Center has an amazing Instagram account at MiraCosta, but they also work really, really hard to make sure that they create content. This is a great way for a team of folks who are creating content to stay organized together. Now, I went back to the home page here. Templates is going to take you to the awesome templates. You can kind of choose one to start with. Projects is going to be your projects. This is the projects that you are working on, and you can actually create your own folders like I was mentioning before. At the top here, you'll see it's all projects, everything is showing up, and I have so much stuff here. I'm not even going to scroll down because then I'm going to feel like you guys are in my messy room. I'm going to go to folders here specifically, because this is how you stay organized. And I cannot tell you how easy it is to get in digital disarray, meaning that like you just don't know where anything is, and trying to find it when you haven't named things or you haven't kind of put them in a correct location can be just a hot mess when you're trying to find things quickly. At the top here, you're going to click the add button. You're just going to click on, add a folder, and you're going to name your folder. And then once you name your folder, right, I have our Canva for Careers workshop here. Once you name your folder, then you can put whatever elements that you want or whatever kind of things that you want to upload and have access to in Canva. I mentioned that I was a real big fan of Creative Market. They're wonderful artists who sell their own digital artwork that you can easily download, and you can upload those into Canva so you have more unique assets that you can use on your projects. Again, Canva is great for the free, but sometimes maybe you want to spend $2 or $3 to get that look that you want to get. And so that's another way that you can do that. I know that lots of folks use photos, And so having folders that are designated for your photos could be really great. So for instance, here, we have a couple of sets of photos that we took with our team, and we have them broken down so that we have all the stories in the post and the different images that we could possibly use of these particular folks here. And so when you create a folder, you don't have to drag drop in the middle of your presentation. Sometimes you want to have access to all 15 of your photos at a time. Create a folder, drop them in the folder, and then when you're inside of your account, you can go through and you can click on projects and everything will already be there for you. All right, that's digital flow, digital organization. Let's click on brand. All right. Brands are awesome. It's funny because you think of a brand and you're thinking about kind of large scale companies, and you're thinking about small businesses, and you're thinking about, people who have products and service. I'm here to tell you that if you have any type of social media account, you're running your own personal brand, right? You're putting content out there so that people can kind of hear your message. It could be as simple as, just your daily life, and that's perfectly okay. It could also be something where you're trying to craft yourself into an expert within a particular industry, so on and so forth. So know that creating a brand kit is what's going to keep you nice, clean cut, stylized all the way through. So when you create a new brand kit, I created one for, right, our San Diego chapter of the AAWCC. You can easily put your logo in there, right? You can also add different colors and different palettes. Canva gives you some options here on different palettes that you can use. This is a beautiful wild orchid. It's not quite within our palette. This might actually look pretty good if I wanted to add that. You can also customize your palette, okay? And so when I did customize, it popped up this one down here, and you can add your own colors. If you're thinking, okay, what is this code down here? This is called a hex code, H-E-X. And I'm going to go to a lovely website called coolors.co. That's COOLORS.co. And I'm going to actually drop this in the chat for you all because I love this website. This website generates color palettes for you. I'm sure you can use these colors for your fonts too. When you click the generator button, it pulls up colors that work together, are all nice and clean. If you don't like those colors, you can just click the space bar and it will switch the colors for you. If you like, let's say for instance, you actually like this gray here and you want to keep that, you can lock it and then continue to press the space button, the space bar, and you can see kind of just the rest of them change there. It has this hex code here, right? Let's say I like this brown sugar. Let's get with brown sugar today. I clicked on that. I'm going to go ahead and click the double box so I can copy the color. And I'm going to go back into my brand kit. And I'm going to replace this code with that one. And you'll see the color pop up. Okay, so doing a little bit of research beforehand, finding a color palette that works for you can really keep your digital representation sharp. I know that I don't always have time to click through the space bar and try to find these buttons. And so one strategy that I use is I go into, not the view section. They have, there we go, let's see. Explore palettes. Too many things open. There we go. Just like Canva, they have a ton of options for you already put together, and then you can kind of click and you can open the palette in another window, or you can save the palette as well. And so this is, again, a cool site for you to find some really, really fun colors just to play around with. Yeah, so many to choose from. It can be a little overwhelming at times. So don't get lost in the sauce, right? It's easy to get lost in the sauce. Very cool. You'll see over here, you got logos, you've got brand colors, and then you also have text styles and uploaded fonts. And so on your text styles here, we use the Mont Bold, but maybe you want to change that and you want to use the Montserrat. And you can easily change that here. You can also go on to this edit button and choose what size you want it to be. And that way you can get the heading, the subheading, and the body font text just the way that you want it. Sometimes I find that this is a little bit limiting for me. Like I really love having the header and the subheader already, ready to go. But sometimes you want to play and be a little bit more playful. And so you can upload your own fonts. I've uploaded the fonts to this brand kit. So every time I pull up this brand kit, all of these fonts end up popping up, and I kind of can pick and choose which ones that I want to play with on that particular project. It makes it so easy to find when you're actually in your presentation together, just like this. Now, let's see. You can change your brand kits at the top. I'm in the logo section here. I want to show you a couple other cool things that you can do. Remember, I said that those brand kits come in handy. Maybe you're inside of design and you're looking at layouts and you're looking at these, you're like, these colors are so ugly, I don't like them at all. No problem, okay? You click the little palette at the top. It's auto here. Try clicking brand. Your brand colors will pop up. I'll click apply and you'll see all of those templates switch into the colors that represent your specific brand. All right, so this is a really cool way for you to get brand specific layouts that can make your job so much more efficient, not necessarily easier, but just more efficient, right? You can also do that in Elements. I love this. I can't lie. I was doing a lot of Canva TikTok research over break, and it's so fun watching the Canva folks who make things because you learn all kinds of new things. I'm in Elements. Let's say I'm looking for social media icons. Okay. Pulls up the icons for me, but I want to make these icons my brand color, or at least the color that I just picked out. So I'm going to put my hex code in there and I'm going to click apply. So the filter is going to go on. I'm going to apply the filter. Boom. All of the graphics, here, you can see the graphics and the photos. You can have the graphics are all in your brand colors. Right? All these images would easily match. Photos, again, all in your brand colors. This is so cool. When you think about designing, you don't want to stop to think, I like this photo, but the colors are off, right? Let's skip that part and just go straight into the filters, find the color that you want, click this little plus button here, add it to the color wheel, and then it will bring up all your colors for you, which is really cool.
Rachel, is it changing the colors or is it just pulling the pictures that have the color?
It's pulling the pictures, it's filtering the pictures for you so you don't have to search for them. Absolutely. Great question. I'm checking my little list here.
Rachel,
Yeah.
okay. Did you
Go
say
ahead, ask questions while I check my list.
Oh no, that's just two questions there. I'm not sure if you took care of it. What was the name of the marketplace?
Oh, great question, Kristen. It's Creative Market. I put that in the chat for y'all. It's Creative Market. They're a subscription website, and I think the lowest subscription is like $9.99 a month. But the best part, this is how I kind of got hooked on Creative Market, is every single month they do a free digital drop, which means that they choose like 1,000 different projects, and they put it in a zip file. And you being a member, you click the drop button and download it to your computer, and it gives you a number of different kind of resources and tools. I'm talking fonts, elements, templates, all kind of presets. If you're into photography, they also have presets. It's really cool. I think it's worth it just for that, because then you're getting more inspiration and you can use those assets in your project along the way. Okay, I think I got that looking good there. I want to show you one more thing. Check the time here. Okay, are we almost at the end of time? Oh my goodness. Okay, one last fun thing then before I have us do a little outro. I can't believe how fast this 90 minutes has gone by. I so appreciate you all. You all have been wonderful. Okay, so this search engine. I know we love Google. I don't know about you all, but I find myself on Google all the time. I'm not necessarily thinking that other search engines, like the Instagram search engine or the YouTube search engine, or even the Canva search engine, could be a powerful optimization tool, but it can be. So I'm going to go into elements here. And in the search engine, there are some cool things that you can find that you just wouldn't know just searching through, like metallic numbers. Maybe you want to get fancy and have some really cool kind of balloon shaped, elements that are going on there. You might be able to do stuff like gradients. Gradients are really popular. You could choose gradient photos. These are great backgrounds. Abstract is my jam. I love abstract shapes or blobs, just because you kind of get wonderful random different elements that you can layer. You could put text over this kind of stuff. You can put it on the page just to make it pop and make it look really pretty. Don't be afraid to test out the search engine is really my tip here. Is there are lots of cool kind of things that you can look up and make sure that that you have here, like use the search engine and see if you can find some things. And if you're kind of curious and you're like, I'm kind of curious, like what other things are out there? Social media is a great way to kind of do a little bit of research. If you were on TikTok or Instagram and you just put in the search engine Canva, it will pull up a number of different Canva projects for you. And I'm actually going to show you this because I found this last night and this just made my heart happy. I'm in my Instagram account here. I'm going to go into the search engine and I'm just going to do Canva Design Challenge. 151,000 plus posts here. My mouth just dropped because one, they give you unique Canva codes that you can put into the search engine to get these types of elements. All right, a great way to do a little bit of research to say, I'm looking for something fun and funky, but I need something. Here's the secret codes. They're giving you all the secret sauce out there. I also love how there are tutorials. These carousels are literally step-by-step. How do you make this design? So if you're interested in knowing how to create kind of a business ad, which is this one is the focus of, it gives you these little memes basically that instruct you on how to put that together. And the best way to actually learn how to use Canva is just to practice, right? Even if it's just for yourself and you want to just get better, it's just a practice. And so don't be afraid to optimize the search engine, to put a little bit of information in there and to see what pops out. And then to try things out, because people are teaching you how to use this tool effectively and efficiently, which is, for me, we're busy people. I got 3 kids. I'm a single mom. I'm a full-time professor. I teach. We need to be efficient. We got to get the ball rolling around here. And so I'm going to stop sharing here because we started at 3 o'clock. We were supposed to go until 4:30. It's already, let's see, it's 4 o'clock now. I want to know I want to know, first I'm going to ask this and then I'm going to put this event. I want to know, do y'all feel pretty comfortable in Canva? You're all feeling pretty like, give me a thumbs up. You can use the emote. You can put it inside of the chat. All right. Awesome. I'm going to try something, and I hope that you will have fun joining me. We have been really trying to diversify our content that we're posting on our Instagram. We know that we have a large community that we service, and we know that we want people to know who we are. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you to help me share who we are and what your experience of this workshop was like. So in the chat here is a new link for you to join me. We're going to create a video testimonial. And by video, I'm not asking you necessarily to upload a video. It's just in a video format. And this lovely little GIF is going to make it animated. And so when we post, it will be posted like a video. Feel free to click the plus button. Actually, what you're going to want to do is go to the 3 dots here and click the copy button or duplicate. Okay. And just go ahead and make a copy. Wonderful. I love it. I love it. My favorite part is seeing all the little new slides come up. Awesome. Feel free to delete me and add yourself. I'm going to add my mini here, my buddy. Awesome. And then you can go into this lovely little text section here. I have my comment. I love hosting Canva workshops. It's one of the easiest tools to use and can really make your work look professional. You can delete my text and tell me one thing that you learned or one thing that you really enjoyed about our Canva workshop. It's your testimony. Feel free to write what you want and give us a little shout out. If you want to know how I made mine, the background here, when I dropped the image, I just clicked on it and I set it as the background. Maybe you're interested in editing your image. You could click on the edit image. You can remove the background. This is a pro tool, education tool. And there he is. And that way I can make the backdrop a different color if I wanted to. Oops. Look how cute he is. Ah. Wonderful. As folks are working on their testimonial, if you have questions or if there's something that you're curious about, I think it was Jake earlier who said, I'm curious, Doc, like how can I share my project? While y'all are working on that, I'm going to go back into the other presentation. You can see here, you have a present option, right? And this is if you wanted to present, you're in person, that's fine. Or if you're online, you don't need it to be recording, that's perfectly okay. You can just do present full screen and you can present. You also have the option where if you have notes that are embedded in your presentation for only you to see, you can do the presenter view and it will bring you the audience view and the presenter view so that you can see your notes along the way. I love the present and record button. It's my new jam. My kids love it too. Yes, I humbly admit that I have taught my children how to use Canva. It's a great way for them to be more productive on their screen as opposed to just playing Roblox all day long. The present and the record is really great. It gives you the option to actually record yourself, like this little person in the corner here. And you can do that either with or without video. And so when you go into the recording studio, it will ask you whether or not you want to have video, if you want to do your microphone. It'll show you what you will look like, just like this. Hi, y'all. Right? And then you can start recording. You can turn your camera off if you didn't want to have a camera. And that way it's just a screencast, just your voice. Or you can have your camera on. I love this, especially for public speaking, because for public speaking, I want to see the person when they're presenting. And so it gives the student an opportunity to learn how to present their Canva presentation, PowerPoint presentation, and record at the same time without having to use something like Zoom. I used to have my students actually log into Zoom and record their presentations there, but this just takes out the middleman and lets it work out pretty easily. Okay. So that's your share options there.
Hey, Rachel.
Yep, I see in the I see here in the chat we've got a couple questions. No problem, Alexis. I have no problem going over that again. That's a great question, Kristen. In terms of closed captions in the presentation mode, off the top of my head, I don't know. I know I have it in my notes somewhere, so I can look it up and I can send you an email later about that. That's a good one. I'm pretty sure they do have captions though. I know accessibility is something that Canva is working on. It's not the greatest in terms of accessibility, but it's not horrible either. So there are some accessibility tips such as your photos. You should know that any of the photos that you use in Canva already have its own alt text. And so that's pretty awesome. However, when you upload your own photos, you cannot add your own alt text. And so that's something to be mindful of. You would have to go back into like an Adobe PDF reader and do it kind of manually that way. All right, Alexis, we are in our Canvas presentation. And so when you click present at the top, it's going to give you some options. Right? And this present and record is really the one that I think is pretty powerful for us. You can click on present and record, and what's going to happen is the Canva website is going to share your screen and record you at the same time. Right? And so you have options for how to do that. It's going to look something like this. You see here the lovely little model. It says the recording button, and then you have your slide deck. Once you click next, you have some options. And your options are you can turn the camera off, or you can leave it on. You can also switch which microphone that you have or which one you're using. If you don't have an external microphone, you just stick with the one that it has already going. And then you can click start recording. You'll do your presentation and then you'll click stop and it will save it into your projects for you. That way you can go back into your projects and you can download that as a regular video file. Once you have the video file, then you have a ton of other things that you can do. A little bit too much for this workshop today, but Canva's amazing when it comes to video. Video is, you can actually edit video, you can add transitions, you can make really professional looking content if you know kind of how to leverage all the tools to your advantage. So maybe that's something that we'll do in an upcoming workshop. We are going to be hosting more of these workshops this semester. I confirmed that with Ediama, that we're going to partner up on a couple of more workshops. So it's really exciting to see that so many people were interested. I know a lot of people who had emailed me about wanting to learn more about Canva. And so I really appreciate y'all coming because it inspires us to continue doing work like this. Let me go back to my testimonials and see how you all are doing there. Awesome. This is great. Yes. Awesome. Nice. Ooh, that's pretty. Oh, nice. Look how fancy we got. I love it. If you would be kind enough to make sure that at the bottom you replace that Doc Hastings at Maricosta and put your name so that we can give you a shout out and a thank you to say, hey, we loved having you here at our workshop. We appreciate you. Anthony, this is so awesome. Really great. Beautiful. Now I'm switching because I have an event survey. Whenever we do these activities, we want to get your feedback. These testimonials are beautiful, but we also just want to have just a brief survey. It probably won't take but 2 or 3 minutes of your time to let us know how you experienced the workshop, how we can get better. Don't be afraid to say, I didn't learn this, but I really want to. And that way we can incorporate that in our upcoming workshops. All right. I'm going to stop sharing my screen here. You can continue working on your testimonials and make them beautiful on your end. And we have about 10 minutes or so. I'd love if you have questions or you want to just know the inside of anything Canva, or actually, I don't care. You ask your questions. I'm open. Adiyama, thank you so much for allowing me to run this workshop. I really, really had a good time.
You know it, Rachel. Thank you. Thank you so much for collaborating with us, even though you're part of the leadership, but thank you. And thanks to everyone who made time to be here.
Absolutely.
Someone have a comment or something?
Oh, I was just going to ask, where are we putting the testimonials?
Oh, let's see here. Let me give you the link again. Hey, Kat, good to see you, sis.
Great to be here. This was awesome.
I'm so glad you came. See,
and it's awesome as I'm prepping for my spring classes. I'm like, oh, let me shift some stuff around now that I know a little bit more about how to use Canva.
Absolutely.
Rachel?
Yes.
I know you do the last minute, but I've been putting the flyer for joining the chapter in the chat. And so I just want to encourage everyone, but if you do have questions, on the fly, you have our email and you can reach out to us. But thank you, Rachel, for giving us the space to collaborate. Yeah,
absolutely. I like that, I think people are used to working on Google Docs. We know that they're shared kind of collaboration space. So I don't think that everybody knows that Canva has this collaboration option. I know that when I do my mass communication classes, one of the things I absolutely love is that we can run a workshop just like this. We can open up our Zoom accounts, we can open up our Canva account, and instead of kind of like, telling them, we can actually test it out together. And so I'm using Canva as a collaboration tool is really, really wonderful. I also want to take a moment, since we just have a minute, to show you all what a Canva presentation might look like inside of your LMS. Right? So if you have a learning management system that you are using, like Canvas, excuse me, I always get Canva and Canvas, tongue-tied there. If you use Canvas, you can embed your Canva presentations into your classes, and it will come out beautifully. So let me take a moment. And I'm pulling up my class, and I'll just share in just a minute. Here we go. Oop. This is my Canvas classroom. You're seeing the instructor kind of side of things. Let me go into student view so you can see what the students see. I open up my classes with a hello, just like everyone else, but I also do kind of an overview of, what the class is going to be like for folks. Some people do videos and some people do, little mini lectures. I like my slide decks. I love layering my images, saying hello, showing off some of the skills that they're going to learn in the class. They can click on this directly inside of the web space that they're in. They don't have to go to any other external, space. If they want to download it or if they want to look at it on Canvas, they have that option, so they can open it up and they can see it there as well. I actually have embedded video inside of this as well, so that students can kind of interact with the document. They can watch kind of the information as well as read the information. Here's some of my fun little elements again, just playing with kind of the things that I know will really highlight this class or really highlight kind of what the theme is. Again, some more video.
Scandals happen all the time.
I don't know if y'all have seen this video, but it's one of my favorites.
For the wider
I tell my students public speaking is going to be like this. You're going to be in the middle of giving your presentation, and then your toddler is going to come strolling in and trying to figure out how to interrupt all the things. And so know that you can be creative in Canva, and you can reuse your materials. You can evergreen your materials so that you can upload them and they can be used over and over again. Your students every semester change. That doesn't necessarily mean your content has to change every semester. You can do little tweaks along the way to really make it look fresh each semester. So, whew, I hit all the check marks on my list here of what I wanted to teach. I wanted to start with the basics, and then I wanted to get a little bit more deeper in terms of the educator account and what you can do to leverage all the tools in the educator account. And so I really, really hope that you find these tips, tricks, and tidbits to be useful, and that you find them valuable and that you can instantly use them, because that's definitely the goal, is that you all can instantly use them when you walk away today. Do y'all have any final questions, any thoughts? Would love to hear from you. I can't wait to meet you, Jake, in class for the first time. Thank you.
I'm having too much fun playing with my testimonial, so sorry.
I love it, Daria. That's awesome. The templates are great. If you are a new designer, lean into the templates. You can actually save your favorite artists that are in Canva. They have an information button on each of the different pieces of content that you use, and that tells you who made that piece of work. You can make this stuff. That's the thing that I love. My children have been taking pictures of their stuffed animals and then removing the background and layering them with shadows. And I cannot tell you how impressed I am. We sent out Christmas lists this year, and they used Canva to make their Christmas list. It wasn't, magazine ready, but I promise that grandma and grandpa and all the aunties and uncles just adored them. And they got everything on their list too. So making an Amazon list, making a Canva list might get you exactly what you want.
I do have a question for you regarding accessibility and colors.
Yeah.
As I made my font white on blue, I'm wondering if that's, if there are any rules as far as making it, easily readable, things like that.
I'm going to share my screen one more time, and I'm going to show you kind of some options that you have in Canva to help out with the kind of color aspects of things. So inside of your account settings, when you scroll down, it gives you themes. You can sync with the system. You can have it on light and you can also have it on dark mode. But then here are your accessibility options as well. And so like for instance, the high color contrast, when you click that on, then that kind of helps out with, this one is gradients no longer will be used as background, such as in the editor header. So it kind of helps you kind of navigate the accessibility without you having to know all the details, if that makes sense, right? Same thing with the shortcuts and the modifier key. It helps you out with that as well. When it comes to accessibility in Canva, that's one of the things. I did a little bit of research over break, and that's the area that they're working on the most. It's not amazing in terms of, if you've been to any of our accessibility workshops, there are so many great things that you could do with like your PDF files to make sure that all of your students have the best experience with your document. Canva's not there yet. I hope that it gets there. I think it's making some big moves, but not yet.
Like it won't tell you, ooh, that white on blue might not be easy for somebody else to read, even though it looks pretty to me, but it might not to somebody else.
No, you'll have to test it in Adobe PDF. There's an article that I can forward you, and it shows you how to it shows you kind of like how to test the accessibility of your Canva projects using Adobe PDF Reader.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, let's see if I can pull that up. It also gives you some tips, like I am a person who loves to do lots of text, and I break my text up. So you might have a piece of text up here, a piece of text down here, a piece of text. If you actually use less text boxes, it increases the accessibility for your user. And so the screen reader isn't trying to search for everything. It's kind of blocked out already for you. So that's one thing that I learned. So I'm going to start to make that adaptation in my work. Yep, perfect. I love the title of this article is Canva Accessibility is Bad. Here's how you fix it.
Don't be shy, say what you really feel.
Awesome. I've dropped the article in the chat for everyone. And so if you're interested in learning a little bit more about accessibility and Canva, this was a really informative article for me. Camila, thank you. I'm so glad that you had fun at the workshop. Well, my friends, we are coming up on that half-hour mark and 3 minutes left to wrap up our conversation here. Destiny, I see you. I'm so glad you made it, my friend. I love trading emails with my students. They're like, okay, what's going on with the workshop? And then I see them. It's like, yay. Thank you so much, you all. It's been a real pleasure. These types of workshops are so much fun for me. They're interactive, they're engaging, and the learning is in the doing. And so I look forward to hosting another one of these this month. We're going to send out the recording so that you all have access to that in case you want to rewatch it and try to learn some of those tips and tricks again. And so please become a member. This is how you stay connected, you grow your network. We do digital and face-to-face events. It would be really wonderful. Regardless of what gender you identify as, we welcome you to participate in our organization. Awesome. All right, my friend.
Awesome, thanks.
Have a wonderful evening. You're welcome. Thanks, Daria.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. That was great. I appreciate it. Have a great
Thank you. Have a good one.
Bye-bye. Thank you very much, Dr. Rachel. Great information.
Oh, you're welcome.
Workshop. Appreciate it so much.